Hi, I'm the Alchemist Astrologer, and this is your 2020 overview for Scorpio Sun, Scorpio Rising, and Scorpio Moon. So Scorpio, what is it that you're meant to leave in the past? This would be an attitude or a situation that it's time for you to let go of. You have the Page of Cups and Wheel of Fortune. Romance. So for some of you, your feelings have changed, or something on offer has changed. Maybe, there are issues connected to offers of money. They may be tied to somebody that you were romantically involved with. Could be that you are romanticizing something that may tie to transportation, travel, the future, money. But your feelings have changed. Or that of someone else, possibly because of some of your own actions. There's something happening very quickly. It feels very fated, and yet you played a role in it. There's something that you said or something that you did that changed the course of something and took it in a brand new direction, for better or for worse. Maybe, you feel like money is romanticized, or maybe you have wanderlust, you want to travel. There's something on offer. But the page says that this is a new experience emotionally for you, or maybe you're very youthful in your exuberance about something, or there's some immaturity on someone's part related to emotional issues. Now, for some of you, it could be that there are issues surrounding a child. Maybe there are financial issues, travel issues. Perhaps this is a child that you share with somebody that you are involved with or were once involved with. But there could be some romanticizing of a situation. So sorting out your feelings is very much connected to that. And the changes are coming through karmic circumstances, again, that you played a role in. So for some of you, you're needing to look at your expectation level with regard to something. What are you expecting of a situation or another person? And is it reasonable? Where do you have little faith in a circumstance? You've just given up. You haven't even bothered to invest anymore. So you're looking at changes that connect to your feelings about something tied to romance, how you feel about romance or relationships, or some circumstance in your life that perhaps you have romanticized or glorified. So you need to leave in the past maybe this fluctuating change of feelings, or being mindful of your role in turning the hands of fate, turning the wheel of fortune for yourself. What you need to let go of in the future is a particular mindset, or it could be a resentment that you're holding on to, or an ideal that's not well placed, or other situations that you need to let go of in order to achieve your desired outcome. That may tie to working on something. Now, you may be trying to figure out what to do about bills, or perhaps you need to pay for something. Could be a funeral, could be some hospitalization, could be you need to work on your spirituality. You need to meditate. You need some time alone, or you need to go within to find some answers. So you need to put your worries aside, your frustration, and go within. Again, it may be to connect deeper with yourself, with spirit, but you need a pause, a time of reflection. Now, if you're feeling good about yourself, maybe, you're welcoming this transition. This is a welcome break. You're breathing easy. But if not, you have some uncertainty about what to do next, what the next move is. And it may bring up your fears, your insecurities. And that maybe it's tied to work, maybe it's tied to bills, trying to be more successful, moving up the ladder of success, or feeling like you're in a rut. You're doing the same things over and over again, whether that's your job or in a relationship or some health habits. You're trying to figure out how you can improve a situation that perhaps you've become comfortable with, but it's not really working anymore. So maybe you're exploring what you can do. Now, you have to figure out how not to devolve into nitpicking and criticism and excessive focus on the detail. Or in some cases, maybe you need to look at whether you're putting in the energy and effort necessary to achieve something, if you're paying close enough attention to the details. For some of you, that may have to do with issues connected to travel or trying to expand in some way, whether that's business or whether that's emotionally or mentally. But again, you need to let go of this excessive criticism or holding on to resentments or not changing habit patterns that don't work, pushing boundaries. There's a need to explore new possibilities, new potential, to try something new. And so you need to, in some cases, maybe you need to take a break from work. Maybe some of you, maybe you're unemployed. Maybe you're trying to figure out what to do to pay your bills, or you're planning, in the future after your death, or you're dealing with some kind of challenging illness. There's, a disconnect between the material and the spiritual. So you need to explore the inner, but not sit around and wait too long, because then things may run away and get out of hand. So you need to let go of being in a rut, focusing too much on the details that don't matter, the things that are insignificant. Know which battles to fight. Don't sweat the small stuff. But if it's important to figure out the details, you need to hone in on those. Now, what do you need to take from the past? This would be a past mindset or a quality that is working for you and that you should continue to leverage into the future. You have the King of Cups and the Two of Swords and Imagine. So there's some uncertainty. Perhaps you need to provide your support. Maybe you're not sure if you should, but maybe you need to offer support or counsel in order to solve some kind of dilemma. One where you feel or have felt conflicted. Now, you may be at odds with others, but maintaining that emotional maturity, the mastery over self is going to be important, especially if you are allowing your imagination to run away with you, or you're too focused on something. Again, focused on bills or moving up the ladder of success or being critical. It could also be that you need to solve some kind of dilemma that connects to imagination, coming up with solutions, ideas, creative ideas perhaps, focusing on something. So you may be repressing your emotions, but what you need to take from the past is not necessarily stuffing your emotions back or repressing them or ignoring your intuition. But this is about creating a balance, having some emotional mastery. You may feel that, it's necessary for either you or your partner to take a break from work. Maybe you want to offer, or you would like to invite more romance into your life. Maybe you want to travel. Maybe you want to expand, or maybe you want to expand creatively. And so you need to solve that dilemma by focusing and by looking beneath the surface, perhaps, for answers, where conflict arises and how you can emotionally smooth those over, how you can offer advice or wise counsel or support or get that if necessary. For some of you, if this is a health issue, maybe you need to focus on connecting with somebody who can give you the kind of care that you're seeking. So, with the two here, you have a choice to make. You may be conflicted about that. You may be at odds with someone else. But this is about learning how to create win-win situations. Perhaps the end of a struggle, calling a truce of some sort, creating a settlement where there's been a lack of clarity. So either offering your support, your advice, your counsel, becoming the emotional rock for others, or finding somebody who can. Maybe you've been alone for a while. Maybe you need to take a break from your work and connect emotionally. Or maybe you need to stop criticizing and offer up more love and romance, adventure into your life. And so for some of you, you're realizing how much you care about someone. You're realizing, how maybe you need the support of other people. So gaining mastery over your emotions. For some of you, this represents you, or it could be, another water sign person. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, Sun, Moon, or Rising, male or female. Now, what are you meant to use in the future? This would be a past or current gift, a mindset to play up in the future to help you achieve your desired goals. This is about prioritizing, again, between work, relationships. So maybe there's a need for balance, and maybe there's a need for somebody to take the initiative or take control over situations that are unclear. It could be control over an addiction of some sort. If there's a health issue where somebody is repeatedly doing something, somebody may be overindulgent, using drugs or alcohol. So this would be taking charge of that aspect of life to come up with solutions to overcome those challenges, to gain some clarity by being a self-starter, being a leader, taking the initiative, and claiming your personal power where there's confusion. And what this means is, again, putting things in priority in the order of importance. For some of you, this may tie to issues of work. It could be dealing with authority figures. It could be property, assets. But wherever it is, control and security and leadership is central to what you need to use in the future, whether that's being abused, whether there's confusion, whether somebody doesn't want to grow up. This is about establishing something for the long term. Again, it could be you're working on bills or success or taking care of the needs of your children. So sorting some issues out. And this is also a card of value systems. The, Seven of Cups can relate to luxury items, jewelry, painting, luxury goods, luxury property perhaps. You're trying to sort out what has real value and meaning in your life, where you want to extend your energy, your focus, your drive, your ambition. You want to get clear on that. And maybe overcoming things that make you feel depressed or overwhelmed. And again, it comes down to taking the initiative to sort out what is a priority. For some of you, this is about your role as a father, a male, or it could be a focus on a male figure in your life. It's time for you to sort through, past what's just shiny and glittery and recognize the sacredness of life. Where you may not be on sure footing, it's time to gain some personal control to secure your future. So that could mean being very direct about what your needs are, what your wants are, asserting yourself, trying to figure out where you stand with regard to situations. The King of Cups will allow you to do what's necessary. Maybe you want to impress someone or achieve a goal or protect yourself or defend yourself. The King of Cups will allow you to do that. So you could be working on something very focused, but you have to make sure that you're focusing your energy on what's most important in order of importance. And if you do, you may find that you have more free time, that you can take a break, that you can have things that nurture you emotionally and creatively in your life. Now, what is the big lesson of 2020 for Scorpio? You have the Empress. So for some of you, this is about an important woman in your life. Could be a mother figure. your role as mother. We have the Emperor and the Empress here. So this is a power couple. This is a couple where each of you bring a skill set to the table. You know what your worth and your value is. And sometimes that can create some conflict or some power struggles. Some of you may be focused on your role as a mother, your maternal instincts, or your willingness to help other people. You may be focused on a creative project this year. The message is, as long as you apply yourself consistently, you are getting closer to that finish line. Now, whatever you're doing, you're in a gestation period. This is going to take some time. This is a work in progress. Whatever you're doing this year, whatever holds potential for your health, your happiness, your well-being, is going to take some application, some time, some patience in order to manifest. As long as you put that effort in, you're going to be making progress. The problem with the Empress is when she becomes apathetic, when she feels entitled, or when she totally gets lost in self-indulgence. This is a year where it's important for you to focus on the pleasure and sensuality of life, romance, food, things that smell good, things that feel good, things that make you happy, your interests that provide that sense of well-being. But it's also important that you remain focused and not get too lost in excess or extravagance. Maybe you spend too much, or maybe you talk too much, or you don't say what's necessary. Because the Empress connects to the throat and speaking your truth, your creativity. So this is going to be a year that focuses on your creativity, your productivity, your fertility, in whatever aspect of life provides a sense of happiness and well-being for you. And you're going to have to make sure that you strike a balance between extremes, whether you spend too much or you're too miserly. You don't want to spend the money on something even though it's good for you or it would make you happy. Maybe you don't work out enough, or consequently you work out too much. So this is about finding the right balance that would bring you pleasure and well-being. And also, again, your willingness to help others, your maternal instincts, whether you're male or female. And what is the question that you should continually ask yourself with regard to this lesson? This is a question that should be your go-to repeatedly all year in support of your lessons. The question is, what do I believe about money? Do my beliefs match my dreams? So how does your relationship with money affect your current situation? Do you believe you're worthy? Do you believe you are capable? Do you trust money? Does money trust you? Money is an energy. It ebbs and flows. You are worthy of it, and it's your responsibility to heal your relationship with money as part of your waking up to the whole of you and your purpose. So this year, your sole action is to take a deep dive in your belief system around money. Are there any beliefs you need to upgrade to create the results you're wanting most in your life? Write out your money story. Is it time for a sacred shift? What will your next chapter be? Fill in the blank. I am grateful to money because. Okay, so again, this is about extremes, extravagance. Are you investing in your creativity? Are you spending money in ways that bring you pleasure, happiness, well-being? Are you careless with money? Are you too extravagant? Are you too miserly? What are your thoughts about money, and is your life matching up to that? Also, wow, you have curved ball. So something unexpected may have come around the corner or is about to, that really focuses on your sense of well-being and your happiness. And it ties to your relationship with money. Now, what is your advice for 2020? You have, in every moment, the universe is conspiring to bring me toward right-minded thinking and the energy of love. And the second advice card is Stand Still, which ties nicely with this Four of Swords. Waiting, contemplating, going within, taking a welcome break, not feeling that just because things aren't moving the way you want as quickly or in the manner that it's the worst of the worst. Letting your mind run away with you about situations, coming up with the worst case scenario because nothing is moving. Let's see what stand still actually means. So when stand still appears, it is a symbol of pausing, the act of observation, and breathing space. It represents the benefits of temporary non-action, as well as what happens when one is stuck. When things seem to stall or stagnate, or when you feel stuck, this symbol appears as a reminder that constant action isn't going to get you where you want to go. Perhaps it's time to gather more information, or just wait until the universe makes the next move. No matter what, this moment is a beautiful gift orchestrated in your favor. Enjoy it. Let the universe bring all the parts together for the highest good. Go and play, recharge, and take the focus off whatever has stalled. Life will get busy again for you sooner than you think. Okay, so, this could be exploring the option about taking a vacation, taking a break from your work, trying to figure out work that makes you feel alive and happy, focusing on your projects. Are they things that bring you happiness? Do they bring you wealth? Is it what you want to be doing? How you're spending money? Maybe you're unemployed. Maybe you need to take a break. In every moment, the universe is conspiring to bring you toward the way you should be thinking. So this is a necessary standstill about getting your priorities right so that you can establish what's best for you in the long term. So you have to really do some thinking and, trust your intuition, your emotions to gain mastery, even if that means getting some advice or some counsel in order to deal with the situation, especially one that feels overwhelming or where you're having to try to recuperate, whether that's physically, mentally, or emotionally. You're having to look at your feelings, how you think about money, how maybe you're romanticizing it, or your desire to travel, or the changes that have occurred in your relationships and your role in that. Now, the underlying energy is this Six of Swords. So you want to move on. You want to move past a situation. Maybe you want to move overseas, or maybe you want to move across the state, or maybe you want to live in a boat, or you want to buy a boat, or maybe you're dealing with people who travel. You want to seek adventure. Maybe you want to let go of negative, toxic situations. But this is a year where you're trying to get to the other side of something, but you're still struggling. You still have a ways to go. You're still trying to navigate some things. It's going to take some patience. You're in a waiting period where something is gestating. You have to nurture it in order to give birth to it. You want to grow something, whether that's a relationship, a project, a child, or something that means something to you. Part of that is trying to understand other people, their vantage point. Letting go of the past, moving on, broadening yourself, seeking new horizons, whatever that is, making changes, having some new perceptions about things. In some cases, you may be pushing the boundaries of situations and realizing how you're doing that. There may be a need for you to wake up to get through a situation, to get to the other side of it. So you're either moving on from things that don't feel stable for you, or you want more stability, but you also want the time and the means to create a life that feels perhaps exciting, fulfilling, emotionally, and financially. All right, Scorpio, I hope you have a fantastic year. I'm wishing you the best. Happy New Year in 2020.